Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trilbee and we're at the end of 2015. I'm recording this on December 31st. You'll be seeing this in early January, January 1st, January 2nd, because as soon as I've finished recording this video, I'm heading out, partying, going out, celebrating New Year, having a good time with friends. But I just thought I'd record this video beforehand because tomorrow I'll be way too hungover, way too tired looking to do it. So 2015, blimey, that shot by, particularly December. Or like it's December 1st, then you blink, all of a sudden it's a week before Christmas and you've got a Wallace and Gromit review to finish. So yeah, if you've not checked out that review, Wallace and Gromit The Wrong Trousers, please check it out. I'll put a link in the description below, you can find it on my channel and such. But 2015, not gonna lie, tough year, a very tough year. This is my first year completely out of education, no longer a student. I graduated last November. And it's been a tough year both in terms of work-wise, trying to get into the media industry, trying to work my way through. I've done a few things, hopefully those credits will actually appear in 2016. I filmed a lot in 2015 that should hopefully surface in 2016, such as a few films, a few shorts, a few TV shows and things like that. So hopefully I'll actually be able to show you the fruits of my labours in 2016. That should be a lot of fun. But it was also difficult because I'm not going to get into these issues. This is not the platform for it. But a lot of stuff happening at home, lots of stuff happening in the family life, which really I think detracted from the work I did on YouTube. It was kind of difficult to find time to work on videos, find time to do things on camera or on microphone. With all of this stuff happening, which may seem odd because I started a lot of new projects this year that I think have gone down very well, things that people have really responded to. For example, Film Brits, the podcast that myself and Sam do. I would say every week, but we've not been too good in December in terms of getting those out weekly because Sam has been incredibly busy this month. He's doing university, so I completely sympathise and understand with what he's going through, all the busyness, everything. It feels like you've got 1,001 things to do. So I completely understand, but in terms of getting regular podcast content, I think Film Brits is going to need a bit of restructuring in 2016, but more on that later. Let's talk about this year. And some people say, why don't you do reviews on YouTube? Why don't you do reviews online anymore? Where are your reviews? I'm going on your YouTube channel and I'm not finding anything. I've done 110 plus reviews this year. They're just on my website. If you go on my website, you'll find all of this content. People are like, why are you not reviewing movies? I've done 100 plus reviews and the year's not even technically over yet. I watched Unfriended for the first time last night and I'm going to take the week off of watching movie releases at the cinema. The only films that come out on January 1st are Joy and the Danish Girl in terms of wide releases. I'm going to take a week, not watch those two, just catch up on all of these DVDs or on-demand films and things that have appeared for free on Amazon Prime or Netflix and such, and watch them and do more reviews so that when at the end of January, beginning of February, I do my year's end list, my top 10 best, top 10 worst and top 10 most anticipated, I'll have a more complete look at the entire year. That's going to be the plan. So you have that to look forward to. I've got quite a few films from last year that I didn't watch. Furious 7, The Falling, what else? Off the top of my head I can't really think of all that many, but I've missed quite a few and I'm hoping to use this next week or two to really catch up on those films. But if you want to know what I think of a film and you are looking on my YouTube for a review, don't look there, look on my website. But this year I also tried a few new things. I tried to do the weekly website roundups, which logistically weren't an issue to do. I was able to find the time for those easily. I could knock those out in about an hour, easily done. They just weren't getting the viewership. The people just weren't engaging with them. It wasn't driving any new additional traffic to the website. And when I stopped doing them for 2 weeks, I didn't receive a single message saying, where's the weekly website roundup, which indicated that nobody had any sort of emotional connection to them. I'm not saying that I was expecting riots in the street or anything, but the fact that not a single person asked when, if I miss a deadline, people often go, where's the thing, which indicates there's a want for it. People are actually taking the time to message me to find out the status of something that they do care about. Not the case with the weekly website roundup, so I stopped those. It was worth trying. It was something that I could do. It was something that kept regular content coming onto the webs, onto the YouTube channel. But hopefully in 2016 I'll be able to rectify that with a few different changes. And let's talk about 2016 New Year's resolutions. I'm not going to talk about personal resolutions. There's always the same. You know, get healthier, get a job, don't cock up in public. You know, just those general things. Hopefully get a better haircut. But in terms of professional YouTube stuff or online stuff, my New Year's resolutions are, of course, the basic: make more content, keep on building the website, and keep on doing more YouTube stuff. But some ones I'm hoping in a year's time, when I do my end of 2016 New Year's update, that I'll be able to look back and say, Trilbee, did you do those? If not, we'll be having stern words in my head. The first resolution is to reboot the Trilbee gaming channel. I've not done anything on there since the Pokemon Leaf Green Nuzlocke, which was successfully completed after 29 episodes. Was it 20? Nearly 30 episodes. Successfully completed, beat the Elite Four in a perfect run. It was a great time. Lots of people really enjoyed that series, and I enjoyed making it. But for the Trilbee Gaming channel, you'll be getting a new series of regular updates, regular videos, regular playthroughs of games, and I have the first few of them already filmed. I have the first playthroughs filmed. In what form they will take, you'll have to wait until the end of January, the beginning of February, but I'm looking forward to you being able to watch those. And when I play some online games, hopefully you folks will be able to play alongside with me. My other resolution is to do more on-camera vlogs. Now, my previous camera actually died about a year and a half ago. And you're thinking, Trilbee, what you've been filming it on? I've been filming it on... My phone is charging. I've been filming it on my phone, which has terrible memory. I can only record in like 5 or 10 minute snippets because I've got a lot of podcasts on there. I take a lot of pictures. I do a lot of things on my phone, and the memory is just not there, which means it's been massively inconvenient. First world problems, of course, but it's been massively inconvenient to film from the camera phone, which means I've just sort of been subliminally put off doing on camera things. What you're watching this on, what is being recorded right now, is on a brand new camera that I got for Christmas, a camera that I'm very happy with. So I'll be able to do more. I'll be incentivized more to do more on-camera stuff, and that includes vlogs. Now, over the past few months, I've been taking some Patreon pledges. And if you pledge a certain amount, you get to choose a vlog topic for discussion. And now that I've got a few of those built up, a few of those requested, I'll be able to do these week after week. I'll be able to hopefully do a vlog a week. I'll be able to talk about issues, or maybe not issues, but topics on film or media or discussion that you folks want me to talk about on Patreon. And if that Patreon well runs dry, I can always request topics from people on Facebook, or just talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. Trust me, I can ramble on for ages. The other resolution is to restructure Film Brits. I don't want to stop Film Brits. Honestly, recording Film Brits is a legitimate highlight, and it's given me many awesome avenues to pursue. Like, for example, we interviewed director Adam Spinks, who directed the direct-to-home media Survivors horror movie, a movie that I actually really enjoyed, and I enjoyed chatting with the director. I had a great interview. Not many people watched the interview, which was disheartening, but I found it personally fulfilling. I had a great time with it, and I think that interview with an indie director actually helped to convince Alicia Malone to come on board to record a guest spot on the latest episode of Film Brits. She loves indie film. I mentioned that we spoke to an indie director, and I don't know, this is all speculation, I'm assuming, but she guested on the podcast, and the fact that hopefully we can get more guests. We got the Solomon Grundy folks to guest when I was away for a week during the Manchester Philharmonic during the summer, and Sam filled in as the main host and got one of the members of the Solomon Grundy podcast to fill in. And that was I listened to that. That was really enjoyable, and I like how they spent every 10 minutes talking about Cyclops from the X-Men. Those were funny regular tangents. But Film Brits is something I'm incredibly proud of. Within the first few weeks of the podcast going live on iTunes, we actually broke into, I think it was the top 5 or the top 10 of TV and film podcasts on iTunes, which I've got screen grabbed. I want to frame that screen grab because I'm incredibly proud of that. We've dropped out of the rankings because we've just not been regular enough with the content, which, you know, our fault, but hopefully we'll be able to find a new way to restructure it. I think the best course of action is to maybe do it every 2 weeks as opposed to weekly, and to try and get a guest every other episode so that Sam can have time to do his work outside of YouTube and online stuff. He's able to do his university work, he's able to have a personal life, and he's able to record a podcast like on a semi-regular basis. We just need to be able to find established guest hosts who do their own online content, as opposed to just getting... I've got lots of people saying, hey, I would like to co-host on Film Brits, but they don't have a YouTube channel, they don't have a blog, they're just fans, and as much as we appreciate the gesture, we would like to get established names out there. Like, it's nothing personal, it's because that'd be nice. My next resolution is to do more films, is to do more of my own written, created, original stuff, or to contribute more to short films, local projects, or independent stuff. I've been doing a few things over the past year that you won't be able to see until 2016 or 2017, or maybe even never, depending on how those projects turn out. But I'd love to be able to do some stuff with my new camera and be able to contribute to new projects. We actually filmed something at the Manchester Philharmonic a few months ago, where we did a film in 48 hours, more like 36 hours, but who's counting? And we did a short film which was rough around the edges. Technically, it wasn't great in terms of the lighting and the shots and stuff, but we actually think it had a wonderful premise and concept, and we want to remake that film with better equipment, with no time constraints, and basically a few months smarter and with more hindsight. And that's something that I really want to pursue, because I think we've got a really great idea for a short film. Hopefully you folks will be able to see it, and because hopefully I'll be able to do maybe some more impulse filming, because filming a movie on a iPhone camera, it can be done. It's provably been done before. For example, the movie Tangerine, which came out a few months ago, which I've not seen. I want to see it, but that film was basically shot on an iPhone. Of course, it was given a lot of colour grade, massive amount of post-production stuff on computer software that costs tens of thousands of dollars. So when people say, watch Tangerine, you can make a movie on an iPhone. Yeah, you technically can, but you will need a hell of a lot of post-production stuff if you don't want to get laughed out of film festivals, which I think is a bit disingenuous. It's sort of like when people would say, look, this 14-year-old wrote a book called Eragon, and he got it published, he got it made, you can do it too. Except that kid's parents were from a book publisher, they owned a publisher, so it's a bit disingenuous. Anyway, that's a tangent. You can't really self-shoot a movie on an iPhone because you can't see the shot, you can't see the screen. But with this camera you'll be able to do it. It's just more convenient, and hopefully that will incentivise me to do it a bit more. And I think 2016 is going to be the year which will either make or break me in terms of online stuff. I'll either be able to continue doing it for another year, or this is the year that it kind of packs in. Because I'm hopefully going to be doing my own media stuff. I'm going to be working in the industry. Fingers crossed. I've got a few things hopefully in the pipeline in that regard. But this past year, in terms of YouTube stuff, the viewership hasn't been great in terms of the numbers. Mainly because I've not been doing the content. But for example, my Wallace and Gromit with the Wrong Trousers review, I've got like 7,000 subscribers on the Trilbee Reviews channel. The Grand Day Out review is one of my most watched videos. I do the Wrong Trousers review, and it takes like a week to break 2,000, which is an incredibly slow viewership attendance. Obviously, people, when I make that comment, when I say something like that on Facebook, people are like, well, you should be grateful that 2,000 people are watching you, and people can't even get 20. I get that, but in terms of like 7,000 subscribers, 2,000 watch the video that has been a year in the making and people have been asking. It's disheartening, although I went on Twitter and asked, did it appear in your subscription box? And many people said, no, it didn't, thanks for letting me know. Which is massively frustrating, because YouTube is basically... You can't negotiate with YouTube. If it doesn't appear in their subscription boxes through no fault of your own, you're just not going to do anything. They don't care. So it's frustrating that the economic well-being of somebody is entirely dependent on an entity that does not even remotely give a single solitary family-friendly fuck what you think about it, which is frustrating. But hopefully I'll be able to get the viewership up a bit more. You folks are doing a lot to help that out in terms of like liking the videos, commenting, sharing them around. I massively appreciate that. If more people can do that, that would be hugely appreciated. Hopefully we can make that work out. Oh, another resolution, learn Reddit. I don't know, I know very little about Reddit, but I've got people encouraging me to use it. Some very friendly folks have actually created a subreddit for myself, for Sam's channel, for Film Brits, Mr. Tyler's Reviews, Trilbee Reviews and such. Actually, I'll find that out now. You're seeing this live. Let's have a look. Okay, the Mr. TARDIS Reviews Reddit. Thank you very much to Put Better Name Here, Raving_Dave, and Pappy Dimmy. Thank you very much for these moderators for the Mr. TARDIS Reviews, Mr. Trilbee TARDIS subreddit. I know nothing about Reddit, but 2016, my resolution, learn Reddit. Use it more. Hopefully it will be able to promote my content more. I've got to learn it. I don't entirely understand it. But check out the Mr. TARDIS Reviews subreddit. I'll put those links in the description below. Say hello. Be nice to each other. Actually, that's one thing. A lot of my viewers, this is my gushing personal thank you, humbleness moment. Thank you very much just for being great supporters. I've done a few stupid things over the past year in terms of what I've said and what I've done. Stuff I always try to rectify it as best as I can. And you lot are always... not in a dickheadish way. You're always there to say, Mr. TARDIS or Trilbee, no, what you have said is stupid, and you've told me. Whereas there's been so much bullshit over the past couple of years where YouTubers can basically create their own perpetual echo chamber of stupidity, of hate. And somebody online can do something stupid or morally reprehensible, like the whole Sam Pepper thing last year, and you just get people who are able to do these stupid, terrible things, and their fan bases would just be fawning all over them. Where they can basically just put on a YouTube channel, hi, and then they get hundreds of comments saying, reply to me, here's my Skype, and none of you are like that. You lot are awesome, grounded, well, most of you, but even the ones who aren't awesome, I respect a lot, and I think you give lots of entertainment and you make the community a much more interesting place. I'll leave it at that. But, you lot are awesome. You lot are incredibly mature and analytical and great. And for example, when my new housemates, I'm recording this at home because I'm home for Christmas, but I've got a home away from home in Manchester where I'm currently living. And people in my house were saying, so did your followers like go on your Facebook or Twitter and just spoil The Force Awakens for everybody? Because I've been seeing that in a lot of communities, and I just thought about it and I thought, no one did that. You folks were really, really good with that, and I really didn't even know to quite appreciate that. So yeah, because you go on a lot of websites and like The Force Awakens spoilers have been interesting, and the fact that people have been way too hypersensitive about it, like saying, oh, Han Solo said that there was a lightsaber fight at the end of the and people are like, spoilers! So many spoilers! But when it got to things when people were just being outright explicit in terms of spoilers, like who dies, who lives, what happens at this point in the movie and such. None of that happened on my Facebook in terms of, or my Twitter, my Mr. TARDIS Reviews or Trilbee Reviews Facebook. None of that happened. You folks are awesome. In terms of Force Awakens spoilers, I never really encountered any for weeks after I saw the film. I remained incredibly, I was able to avoid all of the spoilers, and the only spoiler I did see was just from one of my Facebook friends being a dickhead saying, so-and-so dies, who did it, how they did it, and what their relationship to them was. And obviously they were trolling, but that was like a week and a half after the film came out. So you folks are awesome, and thank you very much for watching this content for another year. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for engaging in the discussion. Thank you for pledging to my Patreon. Thank you for being able to keep this whole humble enterprise afloat. So thank you very much for that, and thank you for visiting the website frequently, and also thanks to the folks who are being awesome with the subreddit and everything like that. Thank you so much, and also thank you to the individual or the individuals who are consistently monitoring and engaging with the Mr. Trilbee TARDIS Wikia page. If you go on to where is it? It's the Trilbee the Trilbee Wikia. I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. They've accumulated all of my content, and I actually use this as a reference guide. This page here is all of the reviews that I have done ever in terms of written reviews, and the score I gave them and when I did them. So this is actually the guide I've been using when I'm like, what did I give Sicario again? What did I give Sicario? Oh, I gave it what did I do? I gave it 7 out of 10. What did I give Macbeth? 8 out of 10. What did I give SpongeBob? Sponge Out of Water? 7 out of 10. what did I give Birdman 8 out of 10. It's really convenient. Like, what did I review in October 2015? Dragon Ball Z, The Martian, Pan, Intern, Macbeth, The Walk, Suffragette, Sicario, Crimson Peak, The Programme, London Road, Survivors, Spectre, Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. As you can see, I'm reviewing stuff all of the frickin' time. Bloody adverts. But I'm reviewing stuff all the time, and thank you to the lovely folks at the Trilbee Wiki for maintaining that. So, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for watching this long rambling video on this new camera that I'm very, very happy with. And thank you very much for all your kind wishes and support and everything. I've massively appreciated it. Thank you for being a light in the darkness of what has been, personally, a very difficult year, and you folks have been terrific about that, so I do hugely appreciate it. And thank you to you folks at Patreon who financially support this, all these videos and these articles, so thank you very much for all of that. And future Trilbee, I hope you didn't cock it up this year. Hopefully it worked out. I'll see you in a year. Hopefully those resolutions turned out okay for you. I'll see you folks next year. Or this year, because by the time you see this will be 20. Ah, mind blown!